Hey, what be up with you guys? I'm John Maffio. Welcome to the program. There are no reviews today. Next review will be Bond and or Peanuts, which comes out this weekend. Oh my god. And it's November. November is a time where some pretty good movies usually come out. So I took an arbitrary year and decided we're going to go ahead from that particular year and reflect on memories of movies that were released from that point on. Or maybe the year 2001 isn't so randomized, because 2001 is the first year in that month particularly where I remember movies being very memorable. Before that, just in general, a couple movies I remember seeing in theaters very vividly and fondly are, or maybe not fondly, fondly for my childhood, not fondly for now, Godzilla and Phantom Menace, 98 and 99, two movies that I hate now. But we were kids, right? We were all kids at one time. We didn't have opinions. We didn't have intellectual minds yet. So you just see a movie and go, ooh, cool explosions and stuff happening. But anyway, before I digress too far, let us get started with the year 2001 of November. And here's my very lazily put together list of movies I printed out like 10 minutes ago.
2001.
In November 2001, we have two movies that I remember fondly. Monsters, Inc., which released first. Monsters, Inc. is one of the best Pixar movies ever made. It's very sweet, it's charming, it's cute. It teaches you a lot about friendship, and Boo is one of the cutest things ever. One of the biggest memories about seeing that movie in theaters was when they get banished to the snow area, and they meet the abominable snowman, and he makes those little, snow cones, and they're yellow, and I'm like, they actually look good. But now I would not have those snow cones because they're not yellow for no reason. And the other movie that came out that month was Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone, the film that started it all about the boy who lived. I remember seeing this movie in theaters and loving the shit out of it. And I would watch the movie now and I would still love the shit out of it. For many reasons. People shit on Sorcerer's Stone and a movie I'm going to talk about in the next year, because it's the most kiddie-ish. It was directed by Christopher Columbus. It drags out. It's like 2.5 hours long, and I feel like they try to get every detail of the books in this movie. This is before they took more creative arts and liberty with the property. But in my opinion, this one and the next one, which I'll be talking about soon, are the ones that exemplify the most magic. You get the most magical feelings out of this particular movie.
2002.
Moving on to 2002, we have 8 Mile. Didn't see it in theaters. I was too young to see it in theaters. But it's a good movie. I enjoy it. It's an Eminem origin story, even though he's not Eminem, he's B-Rabbit. And there's a sex scene in a warehouse between the late Brittany Murphy and Eminem. I remember seeing that sex scene when I was really young, like a year or two after the movie came out, and I felt really dirty for watching it, but I also felt really awesome for watching it. After that, we have Chamber of Secrets. I think Sorcerer's Stone is better of the two Christopher Columbus movies, but Chamber of Secrets has that giant basilisk snake. It's a really fun Harry Potter movie, and it's right before shit starts getting dark, because Prisoner of Azkaban is the first movie where things start to get real. Also came out this month, the last Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie, Die Another Day. The only thing I remember about this movie is that Halle Berry is in a bikini walking out of the ocean at some point, and she's really sexy in it. So I remember about it. Also Madonna. And lastly, 8 Crazy Nights, the animated Adam Sandler movie, which I actually really, really like.
2003.
Moving into 2003, Elf. The movie directed by Jon Favreau, starring Will Ferrell. It's starting to become a Christmas classic. And rightfully so. It deserves it, I think. It's a really funny movie, but it's also emotional and charming. And it has this really great Christmas feeling about it that you don't get from movies that much anymore these days. We also have Looney Tunes Back in Action. This is the spiritual sequel to Space Jam that stars Brendan Fraser and also has Steve Martin in it. This was a bad month for movies besides Elf. Cat in the Hat. I'm not going to take it out, but I actually own Cat in the Hat. And this is one of those weird movies that people really despise, but I really, really, not love, but take pleasure in watching. Cat in the Hat is a movie that, it's offensive, it's mean-spirited, it's really fucked up, but it's a funny-ass movie. I'm laughing because, really, it's I don't know why. It's got Mike Myers playing Cat in the Hat, and, they do some really silly things in it. The humor is so adulterated. And also, finally, The Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy movie that is based on the Disney ride. It sucks.
2004.
Moving into 2004, we have The Incredibles. Great movie. SpongeBob movie. Funny movie. It's great. And the movie is going to be 11 years old this year. Wow. And then also a little movie that not many people have seen, but I noticed that it came out this time, and I watched it 2 or 3 years after it came out, and it moved me. Finding Neverland. That Johnny Depp movie that's about Peter Pan, but not really.
2005.
Moving into 2005, we have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I think people give this one flack too, but it's also, in my opinion, one of my favorite Harry Potter movies because it does have the most action and it is a little quick moving. The whole finale of Goblet of Fire with Robert Pattinson before he became the sparkling vampire in Twilight, and the resurrection of Voldemort, the composition of everything going on in those last few scenes, I love. And it's really when Harry Potter took a different twist, and it really changed the franchise forever after this movie came out. This is when the direction really steered clear and going towards a dark path, because, bitches be dying in that movie. Also, we have the Get Rich or Die Trying movie, which is the movie that tried to capitalize on the popular demand of 8 Mile. So let's give 50 Cent a movie about his life too, right? Not as good as 8 Mile, not nearly as good as 8 Mile, but it has redeeming value.
2006.
This is when we kind of slowed down for a little while. 2006, we have Santa Claus 3. That's the movie where Martin Short played the ice guy. I saw it in theaters. Didn't really care for it, but Martin Short looked kind of creepy. That's it. And also, it's Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, in a guilty pleasure type of way. If you know your stats about movies, Tenacious D failed miserably. It bombed completely at the box office, and it's become something of a cult classic since, but it's got such great music, really over-the-top performances by all the actors, and a Guitar Hero-ridden finale with Dave Grohl playing the devil. Come on, give us one chance to rock your socks off. Fuck!
2007.
Apparently in 2007, I didn't see any movies that month. It was a really dead month for films. But Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium came out that month.
Oh my gosh, 2008. Wow.
In 2008, Role Models came out. Remember that movie with Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd?
Give me a glass of wine, because the girls are fine. 2009.
In 2009, because I guess all the rave at that point was that in 2012 we were all going to die. Remember December 21st, 2012, the end of the world? Yeah, that definitely happened. The movie came out in 2009, though. It sucks. It really sucks. It's got John Cusack riding a plane and escaping things.
Oh, furry monkey balls, it's a new decade.
2010 is where things start picking up a little bit again. 127 hours. I don't get queasy, but that movie made me squeamish when it comes to blood and stuff, because if you don't know the plot of that movie, it's based on a real life event, and James Franco plays a guy who gets stuck with his hand under a rock, and he's fighting for his life, and there's a point where, if you want to live, eventually you got to amputate yourself, right? So he amputates his hand or his arm, and he's got to cut through his nerves and his, oh frick. The filmmaking was so genius in this movie because it made me, I don't look away from things like that. I've seen all the Saw movies, Hostel, blah, 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 but this movie made me freak out. Couldn't watch it. And also Deathly Hallows Part 1 came out, the first of the two-parter in the Harry Potter franchise right before the movie ended. Part 2 is great. Part 1 has moments, but it's boring as fuck. The most memorable part about seeing Deathly Hallows in theaters that time was seeing the trailer for Green Lantern before it and being so excited and being I was to my mom and dad, oh my god guys, Green Lantern trailer, and they were like, why do you care about this? And now I ask myself, why did I care about that either?
In a world where 20 has 2 1s next to it.
In 2011, we have a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. This movie was a lot of fun. Nothing memorable, nothing crazy, but Harold and Kumar is one of those stoner franchises that if you have seen them, you've been blessed. Also, The Muppets came out. This is that Jason Segel directed movie that reinvigorated the Muppets as like a thing. Like, Muppets is a thing again now. And also that Alexander Payne movie, The Descendants, came out this year. And that's when my love for Shailene Woodley started to blossom. And also, it's just a great movie.
2012?
In 2012, this is when I started reviewing movies, so I remember a lot of these more. Flight came out. That was a good movie. Wreck-It Ralph, great movie. Skyfall, Lincoln, and Red Dawn. Which of these doesn't belong? Red Dawn. Because it's the only movie out of those movies that really, really sucks.
It's 2013. Okay.
2013, we have Thor: The Dark World and Catching Fire. Both really good sequels for their respective franchises.
The year I gave up being a narrator.
And then in 2014, which was last year, we have Interstellar. I can't believe it's been a year since that. I feel like it's been longer. I feel like Interstellar's a movie that's been out for like 5 years. Big Hero 6. Very cute movie. Like, you don't need to go out of your way to watch it. Like, it's not like a big thing that if you don't see it. But if you have seen it, very cute movie. Baymax is one of the most adorable characters in Disney lore. He's great. If you don't see the movie for anything else, or you don't get anything out of that movie for anything, you do get something out of it for Baymax. Long live Baymax. And also The Babadook came out in November, apparently, last year. Great horror movie. If you haven't seen it, I implore you to watch it ASAP. And that's it for the month of November in the last 14, 15 years or so. I hope you enjoyed this really random, nostalgic ride through the last 15 years of November movies. But now I want to know from you guys, what movies do you remember from the last 15, 20, 30 years or so, no matter how old you are, from the month of November? Any movies that you look back on fondly? Any movies you look back on and really despise? Let me know any movies that I pointed out or forgot to point out down below in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe, and check out my social medias in the info box. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and happy No Shave November if you're a man. If you're a woman, I hope you like beards, otherwise get used to it. Ha 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 ha! And I'll see you guys next time.